What began as an experiment to bring my 11-year-old daughter into my business has evolved into Our Young Creators, a podcast, a training center, and a movement dedicated to equipping kids with real-world marketable skills so that they can fund their own brighter futures. We're here to inspire you to turn consumption time on devices into creation time and use technology as a tool to bond and not bicker with your kids. Join us each week as we share the inner workings of our partnership and bring you stories from guests of all ages and from all walks of life on our quest to nurture and to celebrate our young creators. Welcome back to episode number 103 of Our Young Creators, the podcast. Today, we're continuing our discussion on how you can use podcasting to create content for your business, helping your clients to get to know, like, and trust you, and to create something awesome with your kids while teaching them and equipping them with real-world marketable skills so that they can fund their own brighter futures. Today is the second part in our series on laying the foundation for creating a podcast. And today I'm answering the question that I get all the time, and that is, what should my podcast be about? So tune in today as we discuss how to choose a topic for your podcast, and also reminding you of a challenge that I presented in last week's episode for you and I to hop on a call together and talk about your podcast. So be sure you tune in to the end, especially where I give you all the details that you need to enter that challenge. Enjoy the show. Today's question is, how do I decide what my show, my podcast, should be about? Are you ready to dive in? As you're joining me live, type hi in the comments and let me know that you're here. And if you happen to catch the replay, let me know that as well. I would love to see who is tuning in to these live and recorded videos. Okay, so on Tuesday, we talked about a simple strategy that I've been able to use in my business to connect with amazing people around the world. It's also allowed me to share my passions for parenting through the arts, and it's really given me a way to have my message and my brand travel with people no matter where they go. And that is podcasting. So I'm curious to know, if you're live or watching the replay, if you have podcasting on your wish list. Type podcasting in the comments below and let me know. If we haven't met yet, my name is Young Pratt. I'm a 16-year performing arts studio owner turned your detective. I help equip kids with marketable tech and arts skills so that they can fund their own futures and learn to work side by side with their parents who are business owners. I'm so excited you're tuning in today. Let's dive in. What do I talk about on my podcast? Well, I first want to start by saying a podcast can literally be about anything under the sun. I'm putting the final touches on a resource for you on reasons why podcasting and getting into podcasting now is such a great idea, and how we can get our kids involved in this really fun process to turn our solo businesses into a family-based business. So, topics. The other day I was researching different podcasts, putting in really obscure terms to see what came up. And every term that I used resulted in at least one, if not multiple, podcasts about so many different topics. If you're a podcast listener, I want to know, what is the most intriguing podcast you have ever tuned into? I'll make sure I put a screenshot of some of the podcasts that I found. So one of them was all about laundry. Right? Most of us are doing laundry for ourselves or our families, so I found it interesting that there was a podcast about laundry. I found another one about basket weaving. And I know that particular term is used a lot in a lot of different examples as something that's very obscure, and not lots of people think about that. I found tons and tons and tons of podcasts all about fishing. Other podcasts out there were teaching self-development, meditation, talking about different hobbies from archery to snowshoeing to doing gardening. So really, it does not matter the topic of your podcast per se. What does matter is that you are passionate about your topic. For example, if you run a family farm, talk about the day-to-day experiences. Not very many people have access to learning about what farming life is like. So if you can bring your kids into that, they can share tales from the day, they can share lessons learned, you can talk about the finances of a family farm. Really, the topics in this one industry are immense. Maybe you're like me and you are passionate about parenting and becoming a better parent and equipping our kids with skills that they can use to build their own brighter futures. Talk about that. Maybe there's a special ninja skill that not many people know about that you enjoy. You can share that on a podcast. Maybe you're a knitter, or you're an advocate for drinking lots of water, or maybe you're a runner and want to give training tips. What I'm getting at here is that topics for a podcast are really unlimited. You just need to decide what you're passionate enough about and what you could talk about all day long. It's really as easy as that. Pick something you're passionate about, pick something that you can talk about all day long, and pick something that would bring you joy to discuss and share with others. Easy peasy, right? On Tuesday, I presented a challenge, and that challenge is this. Grab out your smartphone, find your voice recording feature, and press record. and you're going to share something you're passionate about. And you're going to talk to me like I'm your BFF, and we're talking about something that you absolutely love. I'm curious to know, let me know in the comments, a topic that you could talk about all day long and that you know forward and backwards, and maybe it's something you can do in your sleep. Okay, so I'm going to offer you that same challenge. I'm also going to provide a link to Tuesday's live about using your smartphone to create your podcast, getting it off your wish list, and getting it on your action list. So here is the challenge. You're going to grab your phone. You're going to send me a recording of whatever it is you want to share, and then send me a message right here on Facebook. And if you do that, I'm going to reward you for being an action taker. I have room for 5 more calls on my schedule. If you send me a recording of your podcast, I'm going to hop on the phone with you so you can ask any questions you have about podcasting, whether that's the technology, whether that's the topic. No matter what it is, I want to give you my time and help you to get your podcast up and running sooner rather than later. So again, make sure you send me your recording, and 5 more people can hop on the phone with me, and we can talk through getting your podcast from idea to implementation as quickly as possible. Okay, my friends, I will chat with you again very soon. If you have questions, pop them below. Otherwise, I look forward to listening to your amazing podcasts today in my inbox. Cheers.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. I may be little now, but I know I'm meant to do something big on this planet, and I want to share my story. I want to learn skills now that can help me create a brighter future for myself, and I want to use technology to do it. I want to use technology to create, not just consume. I want to use technology to bond with you and not have it be something we bicker over constantly. I want to become a podcasting family so we can capture our adventures, document my growing up, and to share with others. Want to know more? Head to www.aryoungcreators.com/podcastingfamily. I'm ready to spend more time with you and create. Are you with me? Visit www.aryoungcreators.com/podcastingfamily.